Good morning, good people, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, and whichever the time. This is Samuel Rimo, and I warned you earlier that I might not be able to be doing the weekly videos. Now you have seen why, but then it's all good. So I've seen this being a very good time for us to catch up. Then I give you an update on how I'm doing with my classes and what I'm looking forward to. So today is the is the 5th? I think 5th or 6th of November. So we are just after our midterms. They were quite hectic, but then that's okay because we were well prepared. The results are already out actually, because most of the quizzes you do them online, and not online per se, but you are doing them on your laptop. So in a few days you are able to see the results and you can see them from home. So we have done all the quizzes for all the courses that we are taking, and we are actually 1 month towards doing our finals. So from the 3rd of December is when we start to do the quiz, the final exams, and then we'll be done with the first semester. Imagine, just like that. We started the other day. Now we are almost done with the first semester. Then we have 7 more to go. So that's that. So that's on the update. I felt like today I should just share something that I had promised to share before, and that was why I went with a college instead of a university. And I feel like I have some knowledge more in it because I've been to the university in 2 previous degrees that I've done, but then those 2 are not here, they were in Kenya. So this to me presented a chance for me to compare these 2 and see how it goes. So I'll do 2 different videos, not at the same time. The other video that I'll do is comparing universities in Canada and universities in Kenya. And I know you, if you're from Jamhuri, you already know what I'll talk about, but today I want to explain why I went with a college instead of a university. So if you're not from maybe the West, you might not understand this, but to put it into perspective, just because a course is a degree course does not mean that you have to take it in a university. Indeed, you can take a university course in a community college. That's something very normal here. And that's something different from back home, because back home I think you can only get a diploma from a college, but here you get a degree even from a college. So I had 2 admissions in 2 different universities here in Canada. That means I even had a chance. And to make even matters even more exponential, one of the universities which was offering me a BSCN course was actually supposed to be 3 years. This one is 4. So it will present a way in which I can take that course in 3 years and be done with it. But all along I had been researching, I had talked to some of my colleagues, and even before, I think I heard from Joyce K. Canada. Some of you might know her. Sometimes she was explaining it along the way, and I picked up that point and then I went and researched up on it. So thank you to her for that input. But what I realized was, when you go to a college, and I'm seeing it now that I'm there in a college, it is more practical than theoretical. Because in the university, most of it is just the lecturers coming there to teach, give you the theory, and then as you continue on, you'll catch up with the practicals as you move, as you do your placement, or as you do your clinicals in terms of now nursing. But what I saw with most colleges, the practice is hands-on every week. Like right now you can see me, I'm on my scrubs. I'm just from a lab, and the lab is every week you're practicing something new, or even practicing something different from whatever you had done earlier. And you can imagine doing this for 4 good years. It means by the time you get out of here, you fully understand what is expected of you and the best practice, the best way to treat your patients, the best way, even communication. You do simulations, you get different cases, and then you're like, well, this patient is suffering from dementia, or this patient is just from the emergency room. How do you treat them? Which food do you give them? How do you feed them? How do you wash them? The pericare too, the facial, brushing, including even washing their hair. And you know, some of us men who are from the African background, or maybe cleaning the hair of a woman was not something up in the list of your to-do list. So the type of shampoo to use, the hair relaxer, some of those things, they are just learning them now. And it's a bit unfortunate for us men, because to some of the ladies that we are with, I don't know whether I told you, we like 80% of the class is women. We are very few men, and some of us are struggling, especially from the African descent, on that front. But then again, we compensate that in other areas. For example, for me, I've found Africans to be easy with communication, or even initiating a conversation with a stranger, which somebody can take trivially, only when now you get into a simulation scenario and you're like trying to start up a conversation and be chatty, and then you find some people who are struggling to do it. But for us, it's way easy. So there's a balance, and to be honest, it's a new learning experience. But to go back to the main conversation, I felt like being in a community college would be more beneficial for me, because the theory, I felt like I have some of it, not all of it, but I really wanted to learn how to do things, not just be told that you're supposed to do this. And I've done courses before, like in the social science where I've been, and those ones were more theoretical, so doing them practically would not have made sense. But for nursing, for me, it should be like this. So that's one of the areas that I looked at. And then the other one why I chose Cambrian College per se was it gave me an environment where I can be able to be going to school and still bring up my family in peace, and in an environment. I don't want to overemphasize this because I might trigger some areas. I don't want to go through that route, but for me, Sudbury, I looked at the area and I compared it to others in Canada, and I felt like this was it. So that's why I chose this college. I had 4 other I really had so many offers, and I thank the Lord so much, because it was down to me to which college I was about to join, because I had performed very well in my high school. That's the high school here in Canada, not the one in Kenya, because they told me that the high school that I attended in Kenya was, I think I did it too many years ago. I did it over 20 years ago, and for them that was not applicable. Not to say that everybody has to do high school here, but if you want to, you can do it. If you don't want, you can do the upgrading programs in the different colleges or the universities. But for me, I think doing the high school also presented me with a chance to get admission to many different colleges, and then I could make my choices. And I love traveling, and in some of my videos, especially those people who are following me on TikTok, you can see that I'd always been going up and down. My job allowed me to do that, so I was able to visit all the colleges where I had gotten admission to, and I've settled on the current one, and I don't have anything to regret about it. So for me, I think the main key theme when you're choosing between a college and a university is whether you want to be hands-on, or whether you want to take a different route. And for me, I think going through a college makes more sense. Again, I looked at the timetable that Cambrian was offering, and to me it was very accommodative. I'm able to go to school early in the morning, and there are no evening classes in it. I know most universities you'll find you have the option of taking morning classes or afternoon classes or evening classes. And for me, sometimes getting so many options is not a good thing. So I enjoy waking up early, going to class, then finishing one class. If I have an afternoon class, I'll wait maybe and go to the library and do some catching up, because we are having exams like every week. These exams don't end. So I wanted somewhere where I'm not struggling, and that explains why I was not in tune into going to the accelerated programs. Maybe some of you have heard about the nursing programs that are accelerated or fast-tracked. In Canada, they call them fast-tracked. In the US, they call them accelerated. It's all the same thing, where instead of taking the 4 years, you end up taking 3 years. And for me, that's too fast. I know maybe you now need to sacrifice your summer, and that's something I was not ready to do, because I want to enjoy the summers here, especially in the north. I'm in North Ontario, and this area is known to be very brutal when it comes to winter. We are almost heading into winter. I think today was the first day where we had just a slight bit of snow. So in the coming few days, that would end up becoming more and more, and then by January and February we are at the peak of winter, and I'm told they are very brutal. I've not stayed here for that long. The other 2 winters I experienced them in Toronto, and they were just a piece of cake. Well, it's a negative. You are facing -10. There it's easier. Here you go even -20 or -30, but then that's degrees Celsius, by the way. But when you go indoors, you'll never feel it. It's only when you're outside. So if you're having a car, it helps, but that's it. So in a nutshell, I was comparing college and university, and also campus life, because this is all about learning, I think, for the next few years, until I transition to something different. So I'm going to stop at that. I'm hoping the pointers that I'm giving you will help you even in your own preparation. For the people who are joining school this January, like our college has just introduced a fast track program, which they'll be joining in January, and for some reason we are going to finish the same time. Yet theirs is fast track and ours is just the normal timelines. But it is what it is. So I hope this was informative to you. Put your comments down there if you have anything to ask, and I'll address it in the next video that I do. But with that, bye bye. God bless you. May you have a lovely time, and forgive me if I take too long to do the next one. But I'll try to be doing them on Thursdays, but don't hold me to it. Bye. God bless you. Peace.